You're standing in the crowded mall, bodies pressing in from every side, noise everywhere, and suddenly you can't breathe. Your chest tightens. You need to leave. Now. If this sounds familiar, you're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why. Most people don't understand it. They say things like, just relax, or it's not a big deal. But for you, it is a big deal. While others are laughing and shopping and living their lives, you're calculating, where's the exit? How many people are between me and the door? Can I get out if I need to? This isn't weakness. This is your nervous system in overdrive. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She's 32, successful career, great friends, but she hasn't been to a concert in 7 years. Not because she doesn't like music, but because the last time she tried, she had a panic attack so severe she thought she was dying. Or Marcus. He orders groceries online, not for convenience, but because walking into a packed supermarket feels like drowning on dry land. These aren't rare cases. Studies suggest that nearly 1 in 4 people experience significant discomfort in crowded environments. You're part of a silent majority that society rarely talks about. So, what's actually happening inside your brain when you step into a crowd? Imagine your brain is a control room. In that room, there's a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's your personal alarm system. Its job? Detect threats and keep you alive. Now, in a quiet space, your amygdala is calm. But the moment you enter a crowded place, something shifts. Your amygdala lights up like a Christmas tree. Why? Because crowds are unpredictable. There are too many variables, too many moving bodies, too many sounds, too many smells. Your brain is trying to process hundreds of pieces of information every second, and it's exhausting. Think of it like this. Your brain is a smartphone. In a quiet room, you have 3 apps open. But in a crowd, you suddenly have 40 apps running at once. No wonder your battery drains. No wonder you freeze or feel the need to escape. This is called sensory overload, and for some people, their brains don't have the same filters others do. They absorb everything, every conversation, every footstep, every flicker of movement. It's not that you're weak, it's that you're wired differently. Here's something most people don't know. You have an invisible bubble around you. Psychologists call it your personal space zone. For most people, this bubble is about an arm's length, but for some, it's much, much bigger. When someone invades that bubble without permission, something primal happens. Your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, your heart rate increases, your muscles tense. In a crowd, your bubble is being violated constantly. Strangers bump into you, they breathe near you, they exist in a space your brain has marked as yours. And every violation is a tiny stressor that builds and builds until you feel like you're going to explode. There's a reason you feel better standing at the edge of a room, a reason you prefer the last row in a theater. It's not social anxiety, necessarily. It's spatial anxiety. Your brain is saying, I need space, I need control, I need to know I can move freely if I need to. And that's completely normal. Let me ask you something. When you're in a crowd, do you know exactly where the exits are? Do you calculate escape routes without even thinking about it? This isn't paranoia. This is your brain seeking control in an environment where you have very little. Humans need autonomy. We need to feel like we can make choices, move freely, leave when we want. In a crowd, all of that disappears. You're stuck. You're trapped. You move where the crowd moves. You stop when they stop. And for some people, especially those who've experienced trauma, loss of control, or situations where they felt powerless, this feeling is unbearable. Let me tell you about James. When he was 8, he got separated from his parents at a theme park. He was lost in a sea of strangers for 20 minutes. 20 minutes that felt like hours. He's 35 now and he still won't go to theme parks. His brain never forgot that feeling of helplessness. This is classical conditioning. One bad experience and your brain creates a rule. Crowds equals danger, and no amount of logic can override it because this isn't about logic, it's about survival. People often assume that if you hate crowds, you must be an introvert. But that's not the whole picture. Yes, introverts tend to find crowds draining because their brains are already highly stimulated at baseline. Adding more stimulation pushes them into overload. But here's what's interesting. Some extroverts hate crowds too. Why? Because it's not just about socializing, it's about environment. Some extroverts love small group interactions but hate the chaos of crowds. They want connection, not collision. And then there are highly sensitive people, HSPs. About 15-20% of the population has a nervous system that processes sensory information more deeply. Bright lights feel brighter, loud sounds feel louder, crowds feel like an assault. If you're an HSP, your brain doesn't have the same filtering system as others. You notice the flickering fluorescent light, the smell of someone's cologne 3 people away, the tension in a stranger's voice. You're not imagining it, you're experiencing it more intensely than others, and that's exhausting. Here's where it gets really interesting. Your discomfort with crowds might actually be ancient wisdom. For thousands of years, humans lived in small tribes, maybe 50 to 150 people. Everyone knew everyone. If you saw a stranger, that could mean danger. Rival tribe, potential threat. Your survival depended on recognizing faces and reading situations quickly. Fast forward to today, you're suddenly expected to navigate spaces with thousands of strangers. Your Stone Age brain is still running on ancient software trying to process modern crowds, and it's overwhelmed. Some researchers believe that people who are uncomfortable in crowds have a more active threat detection system. In prehistoric times, this made you the person who spotted danger first, the person who kept the tribe safe. Today, that same trait makes you hyper-vigilant in a shopping mall. You're not defective. You're a descendant of the cautious ones, the survivors. Let's talk about what nobody mentions, the real cost of living like this. You skip weddings because the reception will be too crowded, you miss concerts you'd love to see, you avoid career opportunities that require networking events, you watch your friends live freely while you calculate and plan and exhaust yourself just to exist in normal spaces. And the worst part? The guilt. You feel guilty for canceling, guilty for being difficult, guilty for not being normal. You start to believe there's something wrong with you, but here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's protecting you from perceived threats, even if those threats aren't real. The problem isn't you. The problem is a world that's built for one type of nervous system and expects everyone else to adapt. You deserve to exist comfortably. You deserve spaces that don't overwhelm you. You deserve understanding, not judgment. So what now? How do you navigate a world full of crowds when your brain is screaming at you to run? First, understand this. You don't have to fix yourself. You're not broken. But there are strategies that can help. Start small. Gradual exposure. Maybe it's 5 minutes in a less crowded store during off-peak hours. Then 10 minutes. You're retraining your brain that crowds don't always equal danger. Control what you can. Wear noise-canceling headphones. Choose seats near exits. Go to movies during matinee showings. Shop online when you need to. Practice grounding techniques. When panic starts, focus on your breath. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear. This brings you back to the present moment. And here's the most important part. Honor your limits. If you need to leave, leave. If you need to say no, say no. Your mental health is not negotiable. Some people will understand, some won't. That's okay. You're not living for them. You're living for you. And if the strategies aren't enough, therapy helps. EMDR, CBT, exposure therapy, they work. You don't have to do this alone. You're not less than. You're not weak. You're just navigating the world with a different nervous system, and that's okay. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope you feel a little more understood, a little less alone. Remember, your discomfort in crowds isn't a character flaw. It's your nervous system speaking, and it's trying to protect you. The world might not always accommodate you, but that doesn't mean you don't belong in it. You belong, exactly as you are. Take care of yourself.